I'm using a polycarbide disc, which is like a, I don't know, a plastic wadding, I suppose. Anyway, it's great for removing rust and paint, and I'm doing the majority of the work on the frame with this particular tool, and it gets us to the state we're currently in. Then I'll move on to shot blasting areas that need it. Okay, that's the shot blasting done as far as I want to. Now I'm just going to coat the whole frame with phosphoric acid to mop up any of the leftover rust and hopefully stabilise it for the future. That's me done in for the day. I'm absolutely knackered. I did manage to take the tyres off the rims. That was a battle in itself. Despite having tyre irons, it's still put up a bit of a fight. But they're off now. They're going to get repainted after they're rubbed down and primed. Effectively, that should be protected from corrosion now, so we can relax a little bit and without worrying about it getting any worse. I've not yet taken the drive belt case off of this engine, so I'm curious to know what state the drive belt is and the rollers and the CVT system. It seems to work fine, but I'm guessing there's probably some wear and tear. There we go. The big reveal. I am not an expert on these engines at all, but it's always struck me odd how when kick-starting this there's a very small amount of movement to kick over the bike, and it's never felt quite right. And looking in here, we have the kick-start shaft spindle, and then we have this half gear back here. I'm probably blocking you. We have a half gear back here, which then translates to another shaft with the spindle on, and then another gear at the back there, which is, I don't know, 80% toothed. But the whole mechanism looks like it's not fully in the right place. I think this should be further rotated, and that this should give us more movement, and for whatever reason it's not making it all the way back. I could be wrong. As I say, I'm not an expert in these, but it looks like it's not quite right. Hello Nimbus. So I'm wondering if either someone's been in here or there's a problem that is stopping it returning. And I'm going to have a play with that and just see if we can get that. Hello Nimbus. Hello. Not now. Get your tail out my shop. Right, I've just done a little bit of research, and as suspected, this particular gear is in the wrong position. It should be about 90 degrees this way, which explains why you're not getting the full kick when you push down. I don't want to stick my fingers in there because that is under spring tension. Bracket. I've got to untension this spring. Come on. Come on. There we go. Untension. Let me take this bushing off, this washer off, and this spring should come out. Noting orientation. Now then, this should come out. There should be a bushing behind it, which there is. Don't think I'll move the bushing right now. Now then, can I get that? Will that reposition on its own? Yes, I think it will. There's an arrow on this that should face pinion that engages. There's a pinion behind here that this has to engage in. It now appears to be facing in about the right position. And there's also a dot on here which has to line up this. So I'm going to put this back in. This mark here should line up with that dot there. As close as possible anyway. There we go. That's probably close enough. The spring on. I forgot my orientation already. That's it. And part of the spring is to hook around the back of that. Very professional outfit we got going on here. Get that under there. That's it. I hate springs, they scare the crap out of me. And this little plate holds the spring in place. Get better range of movement with this. Engage, turn, turn, turn. Oh yeah, you get far more revolutions with this now. Turn, turn, turn. Disengages. Perfect. And then retracts. Excellent. Well, that's sorted one problem that's been puzzling me for a while as to why the kickstart was such a pain in the arse. Excellent. So I'm curious to know how this whole setup is and how bad the rollers are in it. So yeah, we'll see what's in there. I can see that someone's been in here before. I suspect that the previous owner had an issue, came in and then didn't put the whole kickstart mechanism back together again properly. So right, 17mm nut. Check. Is there a washer? Yes, there is. Looks like the threads had a hard life already. Let me. Now I don't know what good's supposed to look like on these. Slip the belt off. Pop. The belt doesn't look too bad, but then again, I've never done one of these before, so I don't know what good and bad looks like. Right, I think this whole gasket can come off. Take the gasket off. Gives us a better look. I think this whole unit comes out, slides. I'm sort of holding it together because I know there's a load of rollers in the back here. Cool. Cool. Take that out. Oh, maybe I lifted that up the wrong way around. Oh well. Actually, these rollers look to be round. There's no flat spots on them. I was expecting them to be slightly worn, but I think we'll get away with reusing these. We'll just clean them and put them back together. I think I'm going to reuse this variator. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Nothing a good clean won't sort out. My aim is not to get any more performance out of it. Cool. I'm also going to take the starter motor off because I'd like to paint that just to neaten it up a bit. one bracket that can be painted. Mental note, that's for the starter motor. It goes in that direction. Wiggles out. Yes, it does. Well, that was fairly straightforward. I have a slight crack in the front mudguard. I've cleaned up the area and I'm going to plastic weld the gap. Thanks for Andy of Andy's XL Restorations for putting me onto this tool. I was unaware of its existence until him. I'll put a link in the description for his review of the machine, and then you get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So I won't go over what he's already done. This is a first attempt for me, so it's either going to go really right or really wrong. Now the crack runs up and down this way, and I've been debating whether to go sideways across it, but it's not very long, so I'm thinking I might use one staple. Okay, that is the first plastic weld I've done. It's very difficult to see what's gone on there, but the staple has sunk mostly into the plastic, and hopefully that'll lock it together and stop that crack from opening and closing again. Time will tell. Okay, on closer examination, I've rubbed the paintwork back slightly because the whole thing's going to be painted, and the crack seems to not be moving, so that seems to be a good repair. So very handy little tool, and thanks to Andy for posting his review on it. I have spent the last 6 hours or so cleaning the engine, and it's still not done. There was a lot of powdery oxidization all over this aluminium, and on top of the oxidization there was a lot of dirt. I mean, it's a 2007 engine, so what's that, 15 years old? So yeah, whilst the mileage is quite low, it's had a life out in all weathers. Originally I was going to go white, but in hindsight, given how much dirt is stuck to this thing, I think that would be a disaster. It looked great to start with, but very quickly it would look pretty horrible. So we are going to go with a traditional black finish on this one. Anyway, I'm going to continue on. I've probably got another hour or two of cleaning to do. The difficulties... Oh, Nimbus! Come here! Oh, bloody cat! Sit there, behave. The difficulty is just getting into all the little details, nooks and crannies. I've got wire wheels and I've got small wire brushes on drills, and it's hard, slow going. So anyway, I won't bore you with any more of it. I'll bring you back when it's ready for painting. Okay, so the case has had 3 good coats, 4 on top actually to be precise. Everything has been masked up, so it is time to unpeel that and then put the whole engine aside for installation into the bike when the rest of the bike's ready. There we go, looking a bit smarter than it did when it came out of the bike. Nice satin black paintwork. This is heat resistant to 750 degrees peak, so it should cope with the 100 or so degrees the engine gets to. Right, we have a lovely electrolysis soup here. This is the exhaust decorative guards, I suppose. I wire wheeled them off, and then these have been in the electrolysis bath overnight because they were quite badly rusted. So hopefully we've converted the rust to iron ferrite or whatever it's called. I always forget what it's called. The black stuff, the good stuff. I think this is one of the few parts I'm actually doing electrolysis on this project, and only really because they were so rusty. That's done a really good job. Only cleaning up a bit more wire wheeling, but that's only to remove the excess black material. And then the final piece. So I'm fast tracking this project now because time is ticking on. In some ways this project's taken longer than any of the other projects. It's only a little scooter job. The red material is actually the scum off the top of the water. But yeah, very good. Pleased. Right, get to cleaning those up. What do you think, Nimbus? Okay, we have boxes of primed parts. They've all been paint stripped, wire wheeled. They have all had a coat of etch primer on. So these are kind of like the holding pen at the moment. The engine I've tucked under here for the time being. That's all painted and ready to go back in the engine, with the exception of the rocker cover that I need to take off and do. We've got wheels. There we go. We've got wheels. They're aluminium. Took me 2 days to strip all the paint off, clean them, and prep them for priming. But now they're primed, so they are just drying off and staying off the ground. We've got the electrolysis bar. The frame needs a bit more work. There's a few bits and pieces on there that I need to look at. A little bit of filler here and there just to tidy stuff up, but one job at a time. So yeah, that's a status report for the state of the build at the moment. It's just preparation, more prep, cleaning, but we're getting there.